What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. This video today is addressing the issue that many of you watching are probably already familiar with, and this is the Bryce Comics exclusive drama that has gone down in this community as of late. And if you looked at the title, you can see that this is going to be a much different approach than what has been discussed already by so many people over the last couple of weeks, guys. Before we get into it, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please take some time to do so. Now, I also want to take just 60 seconds to shout out today's sponsor, popculturezone.com. I'm going to show you guys a little 60-second clip, and then we are going to get into this video. Today's video was sponsored by Pop Culture Zone Pressing Services. If you need your comic books pressed, I personally vouch for Pop Culture Zone as being one of the best professional companies in the game, offering hands down the lowest prices out there. Services start at only $9.99, and every order placed will receive free fast-track turnaround times. Even though I press comics for my personal collection, whenever I need a professional press for my key comics, I send them off to Pop Culture Zone, and every single book that I've received back, every single one, has had results that have exceeded my expectations, and I am sure that they will exceed your expectations as well. Make sure you go check the link in the description below to head over to their website, popculturezone.com, for complete details on services and how to begin your order. All right, folks. So, look, I have been this Bryce Comics exclusive Del Auto variant issue has been going on for a couple of weeks now. I'm not going to sit here and rehash what happened. If you guys want to know what happened, I'll direct you to one place. Although so many people have talked about it, I'll direct you to one place, and that's Bryce's channel himself. He has been very transparent about what's happened. Go check out his videos. If you aren't familiar with the art, that he was given for his incentive that was already used, almost 20 years ago, etc., etc. I'm not talking about that today. I'm talking about why I didn't come on my channel and make a jump to making a video. And the irony about all this is that it's about the 1 year anniversary from last year's C2E2, when all of that drama went down with Black Flag Comics, Acetate Gate, people cutting lines and all this. And before anybody had any facts, people were rushing to talk about this. There were YouTubers that were getting the biggest views on their live streams and videos than they ever did, because they realized this was a way to cash in on some comic book drama. And boy, has comic book drama sold ever since then. There has been so many more issues that have gone on, and we're really seeing this trend with YouTube channels that take these issues and run with them because it drives clicks and views. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, I speak on these issues too, and in no way am I stating that we as content creators, or I call myself a journalist, there's no reason why we shouldn't talk about these issues. But the problem is that I feel more often than not, we talk about them in ways that becomes counterproductive, instead of talking about them in a productive manner that allows us to have real conversations to change things for the better within this community, within this industry, etc. And I believe that's exactly what happened with the Bryce comic situation. That's why I did not make a video. I wasn't going to come in here and, for clicks and views, talk about this big, huge issue when nobody knew any of the facts. And I will say, a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of these people that came out and talked about him, they might be eating a lot of their words right now, because Bry came out and, in the fashion that he could, in the timing that he could, to talk about and give more details to account for what actually happened. And I think the biggest thing that came out of this, and the biggest reason why I wanted to wait to even talk about it in any capacity, is the idea of this non-disclosure agreement that every retailer needs to sign with Marvel. And this is why it's been very hard, as much as Bry has been transparent, to get to the bottom of the details of who authorized this art that was already used. Okay? But I think for me, what's clear is that I do believe Bry has been completely transparent in what he knew. Okay? Now, I want this video to be about one thing, though. Okay? First off, I want to encourage not even content creators, but I want to encourage viewers to stop buying in to the drama. Even if you think you're coming from a good place, buying into the drama when you don't have all the facts. The path to hell is led with good intentions, or is paved with good intentions. We often say we care about the community, and what does this lead to? It leads to that pitchfork mentality sometimes, where we jump to conclusions. And you guys know me by now if you watch my channel, or what I feel about people using derogatory names, like calling people clowns, and just leading to personal attacks before we have all the facts on anybody, and also pointing fingers out there and throwing these terms or these accusations of market manipulation, etc., when again, these are just buzzwords that we use when we don't understand either the facts of what's going on, or we just don't understand this element of the industry or the hobby. Now, I do believe this Bryce comic situation is a huge learning point, right? I think Bry, in that situation, definitely needs to learn that he needs to do his due diligence and ask the right questions. And I think this had to happen to allow anybody that is a retailer that is doing a store exclusive to ask the right questions and say, I need to make sure that this is original art, or how do I put anything in writing in the contractual agreement that states this is original art. That's a big win for everybody moving forward that ever goes to a publisher and creates a contract to receive artwork for an incentive variance moving forward. So let's look at the positives and take that from this situation. But another big thing I want people to understand is this. I watch plenty of videos now. I've seen plenty of people express their opinions, and I think, coming from with good intentions, I think they mean well. But these videos end up being hit pieces. I've also seen people jump to conclusions and just go straight to the name calling, oh yeah, that Bryce, he's a clown, whatever, because that's what makes them feel like they're a part of something. But the thing that bothers me is the lack of understanding of what people like Bry do when it comes to mystery boxes, store exclusives, and having a YouTube channel. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. There is a difference between being a salesman and being a liar, a cheat, and a manipulator. They're two different things. You could be a salesman, and you as a consumer cannot like that salesman. You cannot like what he's selling. You cannot like his marketing pitch, his advertising pitch, or anything about what he's doing. Does it make him a bad person? Does it make what he's doing unethical? No, it doesn't. Can you not like it? And can you not want to support him? Absolutely. Look, I don't like mystery boxes. I think mystery boxes are a waste of money, in my humble opinion, as a consumer of comic books. I don't like incentive variants and store exclusives. There's just nothing in it for me. I am not going to spend money on a store exclusive. I'm not. So, and then double those up. A mystery box with the incentive of possibly getting a store exclusive, or this virgin variant of a store exclusive. $250. It's a waste of my money. My money. Me. You know what I would do with $250? Besides pay bills, if I was to buy comic books, I would fill some holes in my amazing Spider-Man #1 run. Those Silver Age books that I don't have. Low grade. I'd diversify and buy a few low grades with the $250. I would never buy a mystery box, let alone a mystery box that might have some store exclusive in there that, yeah, maybe I could flip make more money back. But does that mean that somebody doing that or selling that is wrong or unethical? Again, no. And does what I want mean that somebody else can't want that? Absolutely not. This is the big takeaway for one. Outside of looking at the isolated incident and having somebody's art reused and thinking that, okay, did this retailer, Bryce, have any knowledge of this? And what does that say about his his business and how he operates and the principles that he operates on? I get that. But the bigger picture, because the bigger conversation that allows YouTubers and people in this community to jump into comments or to jump on IG and just start attacking people, is that somehow anybody that has a YouTube channel that's pushing mystery boxes or that's pushing store exclusives or sells comics is shady, is a bad person, and is therefore not for this community and is hurting the hobby. And I'm going to say this again. Unless they are flat out lying to you about something. Unless they are flat out lying to you about something. They aren't manipulating you. Unless they are holding a gun to your head or a knife to your throat. They are not manipulating you. Are they persuading you? Possibly, because that's what salespeople do. Anybody that is selling a product, it can be food, it could be comics, it could be electronics, it could be cars, it could be, a vacation packet. Anybody selling you a product or a service is going to do all that they can to persuade you to buy their product. Is that manipulation? It's business. That's just business. People buy mystery boxes because they want to. And I want people to drop their comments below on this video right now. If you buy mystery boxes, tell me why. Tell me how much you spend a month or a year on mystery boxes. And tell me what you get out of it. If you buy incentive variants or store exclusives, tell me how much you spend a month or a year on them and tell me what you get out of it. People buy mystery boxes because they want to. Because there's a thrill. It is like a lottery ticket. And I said this to a certain individual that I have nothing but respect for on one of their videos talking about this. I said, we can't be entitled to buying what is technically a lottery ticket. Mystery boxes are essentially a lottery ticket. These people that do this, Bryce Comics, who's saying you have a chance to get this virgin variant, and you're also going to possibly get this trade dress, whatever the case may be. You're buying a lottery ticket, and that's what people like. I mean, if I go and spend a couple $100s on lottery tickets and I win nothing, am I going to scream and shout and say, You guys are ruining the lottery, or you're ruining my life, or go to the gas station that sold it to me? How dare you ruin gas stations? You are putting a bad name for gas stations because I didn't win the jackpot. It doesn't work like that. Outside of a lottery, another reason why people buy mystery boxes is because people actually like being surprised. The thrill of just the element of surprise, right? Now let's talk about, again, incentive variants. And I've done a poll on this, guys. I've done polls on this stuff. Every poll that I've ever done when asking about variants or incentive variants or store exclusives, the majority, the large majority, I'm not talking like 51 to 49, the large majority of people that buy incentive variants, they say they're willing to buy it because it is something that not every collector is going to own, and they feel like they have something unique, or that they want the art so bad that they're willing to pay that money for it. Many of them, a large majority of them, even say they don't care about future value. They don't care about the future value. They want it now. It's like, and again, I said this in another video, somebody dropped it in the comments, but I learned that, you learn this in economic courses, but there's certain consumers that purchase things when they hit a market. And we talk about technology a lot, but I forget, guys, if you know the term again, it's been a while. It's like the people when a new iPhone comes out. You get that first group of people, or a new electronic product comes out. They basically, there's going to be bugs in that new iPhone. It's pretty much like the test market. And they're willing to stand in line for hours and pay above MSRP to get the first dozen new iPhones that hit the market. That type of consumer is called, there's a name for them. And they don't care that they're spending more money. They don't care that you can wait another month and buy it for $200 cheaper or get one that's not going to have a bunch of bugs. They don't care about that. They want to be the first in line. And they're willing to spend the money. Them doing that isn't ruining the phone industry, isn't ruining the hobby, isn't ruining anybody. It's what they want to do, and it's not stopping you from, going into T-Mobile or Verizon when your phone plan is up or when you want to upgrade and getting that new iPhone still. If you collect Bronze Age or Silver Age books, and there's other people, I keep seeing, I don't understand why someone would spend $250 on a mystery box when you could buy Silver Age comics. The answer to that question is simple. Because they don't want to buy Silver Age comics. They want to buy that mystery box. And unless somebody is, like I said, literally lying to you, or holding a gun to your head, or holding a knife to your throat, nobody is manipulating them. And this is where I get the hate from both sides of the black and white arguments that happen in this community, because I'm not black and white, and I'm not a yes man, and it's not that simple. I am not pro or con, for or against. I am logical. I'm not sitting here saying that we cannot hold YouTubers or retailers or anybody that sells comics or sells a product accountable. It is the American way. It is the modern way. It is our human right and our consumer right to hold anybody, any entity of business accountable. Speak up. We as the consumer hold the power, and we have to hold everybody selling products and services accountable so we get the product and the service that we deserve. But there's a difference between holding them accountable and being entitled in bringing out pitchforks. There is a completely different conversation to be had. So, I'm going to wrap up on this note. Why did I not make a video when all this went down with the Bryce Comics thing? Again, because and for those that watch my channel, that I don't even know what the future of Journo's Comics on YouTube is, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Because you stand up, not for one side. I'm not standing up for Bryce and standing against people that are upset at him. I'm not standing up for people that are upset at Bryce and standing against Bryce. I'm not, for pro-retailer, anti-collector, pro-collector, again, this is the divide and conquer. I'm so sick of the divide and conquer. Because we realize that we can get clicks and views by talking about the drama that appeals to the sensationalism. And the YouTube algorithms are so messed up that if you're not pushing that narrative, I didn't want to come close at all to even being seen as leaning to one side of the sensationalism. And I'm probably still going to get attacked for it even now. But first off, I knew that facts were going to come out. Hindsight's 20/20. So I waited. I mean, I knew that a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people were going to come out and start name calling, throwing out accusations, throwing out those buzzwords. And I knew that while some of the concern is valid, I knew a lot of the arguments and the finger pointing, I knew a lot of it was going to be them eating their words. I didn't touch it because it's not worth my time to perpetuate counterproductive rhetoric. But I feel by addressing it the way that I did today can hopefully allow all of my viewers, all of you watching, other YouTubers, other content creators, other retailers, etc., to look at a situation like this, pump your brakes, take a step back, and do your due diligence all around as journalists, as members of this community, to have conversations before we simply become reactionary, react on emotions, name call, throw people under the bus, because at the end of the day, this is people's livelihood. We need to hold everybody accountable, but we need to have conversations that move us forward rather than tear us down. So, that's my thoughts on the matter today, guys. I would love to hear your comments in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Be well. And until next time.